So, it finally happened again. Security system took control over Squidward's house. And this episode is probably worse than the one when it happened the first time.
Morning, neighbor.
So this episode, Home Away from Home, is all about the houses on Conch Street being alive and doing stuff when the owners leave.
Have you ever wondered?
The houses go from looking normal to looking way worse, just with no explanation in the episode whatsoever. Just a flashback effect that makes no sense.
Have you ever wondered, what does your house do?
I get why this is done, because it's easier to animate like flat surfaces like these instead of the more textured normal houses, but that still don't make this work in the episode.
Have you ever wondered?
Like the whole thing is, have you ever wondered what your house does when you go out? Then you can't have a flashback like this. They just went out. It literally makes no sense and just comes off as really lazy. If anything, have the houses like that from the beginning. That would still be bad, but this is just pissing me off, as you can probably tell.
Morning, Tiki. Morning, Party.
Also, we have had the houses animated before. Squidward's house has moved around on so many occasions.
Not even Squidward's house.
And it never required it to look this bad, so I can't even give them like this excuse. I'm sorry, like it's just bad.
I hope Spongebob didn't keep you up all night laughing in his sleep.
These legit barely even look like the houses. If you showed me this, I would legit think it's either fan art or something from the Patrick Star show where they have a different art style or something. Squidward's house especially is a really nice looking model with great texture, and removing that for wacky houses running around more cheaply is not worth it in my opinion.
He said Patrick slept like a rock, and so did I.
The houses make some unfunny jokes before Patrick's house is accidentally kidnapped after being mistaken for a rock. Or I mean, it is a rock, but yeah.
What did Rocky say?
He said, "Help! I'm being rock-napped!"
I don't really know how I feel about Patrick's rock being named Rocky, since that was the name of his pet rock.
This is what you've been training for, Rocky. This is why we're here.
So now there's either a reference to that name, which wouldn't make much sense, right? Because if he names the rock Rocky, then is his house also named... yeah. Or they just forgot about that episode and it's just a like pun. So they, in that case, they would be reusing an older pun from an older episode, which would not be great either. Speaking of older episodes,
Gotta help him.
so this is legit.
Security system takes control of Squidward's house and begins attacking the city, leaving the mayor to give Squidward community service for the damage he caused, even though SpongeBob and Patrick were in his house the whole fucking time and were responsible for everything. Yeah! Fuck this episode!
Except there it was actually Squidward's house and not his bland version.
Rocky!
Like, I have to give it to Good Neighbors. That was actually some really good looking scenes when Squidward's house was in the city and stuff.
Fire!
Like, Squidward's house looked good there. Here, it just looks so cheap. Like, I'm sorry, I know it is to save money, but it is like I'm watching the episode turn itself worse looking, like right in front of my eyes, and a flashback effect doesn't really make I would say this episode is pretty brain rot. Not in like the worst way ever, but it's definitely more resembling something like Looney Tunes than Spongebob. And that's not me hating on Looney Tunes, because I really like Looney Tunes, but it's not Spongebob. I'm comparing it to... I'm like making a point where the show is feeling more like another show than it is feeling like the show it's supposed to be. And it's not a good version of Looney Tunes, let me just get that out the way. When I say like, this feels like Ren and Stimpy, this feels like Looney Tunes, I say that like it's the poor man's version of those shows, because those shows are great, this show is not great. Like here the houses look good again, which is pretty jarring, right? And the realtor from Opposite Day is back. Like what? Yeah, it is so jarring to watch. It's almost like comedic at this point, and not in a good or intentional way. It's legit almost on the same level as having like the episode halfway through just cut to the voice actors doing the lines because you have to save money. It's yeah, I don't like how this episode looks at all.
We might as well give up. We're never gonna find Rocky.
I think the plot of the houses running around chasing after another house is really not what I personally come to Spongebob for. But there's a lot of stuff in the newer seasons I don't necessarily look for in a Spongebob episode, but this really feels like scraping the bottom of the barrel for story ideas. Makes sense with 17 seasons, but I just think it wouldn't hurt to do a plot with the main characters that isn't just big things happening, or this character becomes this character, or this character comes back. Many of the best episodes of the show are really simple plots to get jokes out of, you know, jokes. I miss when the show had these.
Excuse me? You want something?
There's so much sound effects and wacky music in this episode, which just adds to the brain rot nonsense factor. It don't help that when the houses talk, there is also the door opening and shutting noise each time, so it's just a lot of noise in general.
Bikini Bottom Prison.
That shit was so abrupt, once again. Adding to the stuff happening as fast as possible, with no good transitions between plot points. It's just like, oh, this thing, and now this thing, and this thing. The pacing is what I'm talking about, right? The pacing is pretty off. Why are all the guards identical? Like, even the same color for every single one just feels lazy as well. Cause even an early prison episode like Doing Time had different colors, and that episode, like the earlier episodes, had the excuses of being earlier episodes. Like here you can just like Control W? No, Control V, I think is how you paste stuff. You can just paste in other character models. You can have more than one guard. It just feels, yeah, again, lazy. I think this episode is almost like a case of unnecessary lore, if that makes sense. Cause who really cares about the houses? The houses have not been characters before. Like yeah, Squidward's house has been sentient for jokes and stuff before, and those jokes have been funny, but this is just, who cares about this? There is a season 11? I would think, no, maybe season 12. The episode Gary and Spot, anyway, it's an episode where we see what Gary and Spot, Spot being Plankton's pet, like get up to in the night. And I think that episode, it's better than this. It's pretty cute, like, but it's kind of just like that episode, but it's less interesting, cause like, okay, Gary and Spot running around at night is like, okay, I guess that's cute, but like the houses going on adventures who cares?
Oh, sorry.
You should have thought about that before you broke the law.
I'm not kidding, the whole Patrick's house being captured thing is resolved 8 minutes into the episode. Just because Patrick's house says something that we can't hear.
That is the saddest story.
Cause like the prison house lets them go because Patrick's house says something. And I'm not a fan of stuff like this. Like yeah, it was funny when Gary meowed and Sandy was in tears and said he had such a way with words, but that was a joke. Having your entire plot conclude like this, lazy.
Get out of here before he changes his mind.
Abrupt ass ending to the story. They got Patrick's house back super easy and are out of prison just like that. And now there's like 2 minutes left of the episode, so they're just kind of running around. Nautical nonsense, I guess. Not very nautical, but yeah. They end up back home and do unfunny stuff before getting caught by the prison, and then they all run again. Yeah, nonsense. Seems to be a lot of that in season 17 already. Not a fan of this episode.